Hello and welcome to the Number My Day Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm your host, DC,
And I'm Ashton.
and today we are going to discuss focusing, finding clarity and direction by focusing. What do you think about that, Ashton?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
So let me read from Proverbs 4, starting at the 25th verse. I'm going to read 25 to 27.
Mhm.
Let your eyes look forward, fix your gaze straight ahead. Carefully consider the path for your feet, and all your ways will be established. Don't turn to the right or to the left. Keep your feet away from evil. Yeah. So, just in general, just being people,
Mhm.
and then being entrepreneurs and being Christian entrepreneurs, it can be easy to get sidetracked in our daily lives. Easy to get our focus off our purpose and onto a plethora of other things.
Yeah. Immediately, I think about, excuse me, social media. Our
Okay.
attention span. It's just tidbits of information, random information, and that literally is on. It's going constantly. So it is not the easiest thing to focus
Hmm.
when there's so much just before our eyes and our ears that might not be in alignment with the thing we're supposed to pursue.
There are just so many distractions now.
Mhm.
There's just so many distractions. Not just people, but now it's devices. I mean, I have a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, um, all those devices. You can access everything there is to access.
And sometimes you're on all three at the same time.
And sometimes I'm on all three at the same time.
Mhm.
Texting, working,
Uh-huh.
researching.
Yeah. And you
Jeez.
operate with, or you have one screen, but you operate with two screens too. It's
Oh, I
just a
love two
lot.
screens. I love two, at least two.
At least two.
At least two screens to get the best productivity.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay, so why is it important to focus? Because we can get distracted, right? And so I want to discuss some problems. I'm going to discuss four problems that could possibly happen if we don't focus.
Yeah.
And these could be detrimental to our progress
Yeah.
and ultimately to our progress and the purpose that Christ has placed for us. It can get in the way of us reaching out and transforming the marketplace, which is what we are supposed to do.
Yeah.
We're supposed to do it in different forms. It
Mhm.
might look differently, overt or more covertly. It could be, but that is what we're supposed to do. And so here are potential problems that if we do not focus, which is a lack of clarity,
Mhm.
and if we don't have a clear
Mm.
focus, it can be difficult to know what we should be doing
Yeah.
at any given time.
Speak to that because there's been seasons of our lives when you know you're supposed to transition into something, but you can't put your finger on it. And if I ask you to speak to it, but I'm all going to speak on it for you.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest reasons for lack of clarity is for not seeking God first. You have this
Okay.
unction for something,
Hmm.
you believe He's calling to you, but it's not all just laid out. So you go to search hard
Hmm.
instead of to seek Him. And there's so much stuff out there. There's so many books, self-help books on every topic under the sun. But we put God as a last resort when it all falls apart or it's not getting off the ground like we want it to.
Hmm.
So I feel like, yeah, without focus, the result is lack of clarity. But a lot of times it's because we didn't focus and seek Him first, because
Yeah.
that's a form of focusing.
And there's any number of things that we could do. I believe that so many people are capable of just choosing something and then doing it and doing it reasonably well.
Successfully, yeah.
And then as far as the world success, we can create a process for this and then succeed at it, make money at it, because that's the world's
View of success.
end goal, to make money at it. But
Mhm.
through my experience
Mhm.
is that if it's not something that God has led me to do, it's empty.
It's unfulfilling.
It is.
So
It's
then you look more and you try harder.
right. And there's that lack of clarity
Hmm.
by not seeking God first. Number two is ineffective decision making. If
Mhm.
we don't focus, then when we're not focused, it can be hard to make decisions that are aligned with our values and goals.
Yeah, I think about that like when fear creeps in, after failure, it's hard to, you fear like, oh gosh, I don't want to go down that road again. So I think it's hard to make decisions because
Yes,
sometimes you fear the failure. And as you said, if you don't really have clarity of what you're doing, you're not really confident in choosing. So it's just kind of it sounds like a domino effect because of lack of focus.
it is.
Hmm.
It is. And number three, wasted resources. Wasted resources. Without focus, it is easy to waste time, money, and other resources
Yeah.
on things that don't really matter. I have a running ledger in my mind as I was saying number three, wasted resources,
Yeah.
and just thinking of like, geez, that money
Ching,
wasted
ching,
there,
ching,
that
ching,
money
ching.
wasted, just thousands and thousands and thousands because I didn't have a focus.
Hmm.
Focus.
That's what I was thinking. I saw like, oh my gosh, all the wasted dollars.
Yeah, and in a practical sense, it can be detrimental to the bottom line of your business.
Hmm. Yeah.
We do not have unlimited resources here on this earth, right? Um, there's nobody, not even Elon Musk, has unlimited wealth. There's a cap on it, and so we need to utilize it and manage it and be good stewards of it wisely to
Yeah.
not waste resources. Number four is missed opportunities. So when we are not focused,
Hmm.
we may miss out on opportunities that could help you achieve your goals and grow your business. And
Hmm.
a great example I have is when I was in the middle of having my construction company, and I took a project for somebody over this institution. So this institution had a constant stream of projects, all this. I took another project because I told them I'd do the project, but that project like failed miserably. Um,
To the
I couldn't
point.
get paid on
Yeah.
it, and instead of looking at it more shrewd from a business standpoint, and the clarity for my business, like this business is for God. I need to make the best decisions for God. I should have chose that other
Hmm.
um, between the two.
I think too, as you're saying these results of lack of focus, it's like this one goes into that one, because when you're not sure of what you're doing, then
Mm-hmm,
it's hard for you to make decisions.
mm-hmm,
So then you waste money and time. And then ultimately, when the opportunity comes into your face, you don't even see it.
mm,
And you miss it because of
you
all these
don't.
things. So I think you're really creating a stair step thing that with focus, there's some wonderful things that can happen. But with lack of focus, you
Mm-hmm.
can look up, and we can speak from
It's
experience.
like Dave Ramsey's snowball in the opposite.
Yeah.
So instead of paying off debt and bring yourself out of it, you're getting yourself deeper into
Yeah.
it.
And you look up, and years have passed.
Yeah.
Oh, God called me to do da 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 da. And I look up and I'm like, what happened to that? I've gotten so far from it. And we're
Lack of focus.
experiencing what God called you to do. Here you are, a couple years later, floundering. Let's go back to that and walk that out with
Yeah,
focus. So
absolutely.
get focused.
Get focused.
Yeah.
And so, lack of clarity, ineffective decision making, wasted resources,
Mm.
missed opportunities, all a result of lack of focus, of not focusing.
Hmm.
And so, in contrast, when we have a clear focus, we're better able to make decisions. We're able to allocate resources effectively and seize opportunities that arise.
Yeah.
Um, this can help us achieve our goals more quickly. Um, sometimes you heard me say I have taken a scenic route, going and doing the more difficult way. But if we focus, we can get to our destination a little faster,
Hmm.
um, more quickly with greater efficiency, and ultimately leading us to a greater success.
Right. And success not in dollars only. But
and
also
everything.
just, your the peace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, how quicker can I get to helping people if I'm not so busy helping myself because I got into this lack of clarity, trying to figure out what I should do, and
Ditch.
yeah, this ditch, and that's a trick of Satan is to fog our vision,
Yes.
to confuse us.
And to pull us away. Whenever you say that, whenever I think about the enemy, he loves to pull you away. So if he can get
Hmm.
you confused and you're just over here like spinning wheels and going in a million different directions,
Hmm.
nothing's happening now. Now you're not producing anything that advances the kingdom. He is like, yeah. But when you start to
Right.
focus and align with what God has for you, you start to pick up traction,
Hmm.
and things start to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, what are some practical tips for maintaining focus?
Mhm.
First of all, we need to start with our why. Why? Before we focus, we need to know what you need to do. You know what we need to do to achieve our goals. We need to have a clear understanding of why we're doing it, for who we're doing it, and this means we have to take time to reflect on our values, on our purpose, our mission as
Mhm.
a Christian entrepreneur, and what our business is supposed to do in the community. Like we interviewed Norman Henry a few weeks back, and he said, your business should be doing something to help build God's kingdom
Yeah.
as Christian entrepreneurs. And we have set clear goals. So that's part of focusing is we set clear goals. So once we know our why, now we have this why to where now we can set goals based on that why to help us achieve it.
Yeah.
And I always like SMART goals. And that the SMART acronym, it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And that will help you get to those goals. And then we need to prioritize. We need to prioritize ruthlessly. There's so many distractions that we discuss in this world, and we need to prioritize what matters most. Now, I need to do this. I know that. But all these other things come in the way. Now, if these don't push us closer to what God wants us to do, then those need to take a back seat to what is the priority.
And I think it's it's very clear what the priority is in an overarching way,
Yes,
but it's wise to seek God daily so that
it's the
you can know
details
the priority
that catch us
yeah,
up. It's the
for
details where
that
we have
day.
lack of clarity.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And then use a system. So, of course, to focus, we need to create a system that can help us be accountable and stay on track. Avoid distractions. So, what is getting in our way? We discussed about the digital age. There's so many distractions that will deter us
Still your
from what
time.
we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just things, just an email notification can throw us off.
Yeah.
We need to surround ourselves with like-minded people.
Yeah.
If we're hanging around people who lack clarity, then we need to look at ourselves because we might lack clarity. You have anything to add?
With the people surrounding yourselves, I think it's important to hang around people who are progressive, whatever that means, that are action
Progressive,
minded.
not in the political sense, but
No,
progressive
because
in the
if you
word.
have for newer entrepreneurs and things like that, when you look around your circle, and again, sometimes it happens that you're this entrepreneur striving to be, starting that out, and the people around you aren't, then it's important that you surround yourself with somebody because that won't encourage you. That will discourage you and help you to like, oh, maybe I'm doubting myself, maybe I'm not. So I think it's important to have some like-minded people to help you get your goals accomplished, especially if that's not your
Absolutely.
circle.
Absolutely. And there's some people that I get around and I just get motivated.
Yeah.
I have a cousin who's one of them. Every time we get around each other, we motivate each other.
Yeah.
We're like, oh man, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this. And we get together. You know, right now I'm helping him finish up a project he has, and like, man, it's just so edifying.
It's good
So
company.
edifying.
Yeah.
And you need to surround yourself around like-minded people, and then you also need to learn how to say no. So sometimes just saying yes will just keep us back from doing what we're supposed to do. And saying no, for some people, is a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah.
And take breaks, which is very important. Something that I've learned the last couple of years. Don't work on Sunday, at least take a day,
Mm-hmm.
whatever day it may be for you, but take a break. You have to renew, you have to rejuvenate
Mm-hmm.
your body. And I thought focus was just keeping your mind to the grind, kind of go underground, which now I'm breaking some of these rules that's surrounding myself around like-minded people, but to go underground and just do this and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Not realizing that like I need to recharge as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Definitely. Sometimes it's helpful to take your mind off the thing just to rejuvenate, and it gives
Hmm.
you more focus and clarity when you come back. That doesn't mean you take 6 months off of it, but it's like just that day when it's okay, I'm not going to work on that. When you come
Hmm.
back, you might have some new ideas or more excitement to
Yeah,
can't carry it out.
yeah. It could be a long-term thing and also a short-term thing. It could be a daily thing. I know when I started adopting hiking and walking,
Yeah.
that's the most rejuvenating thing for me that I've tried, and it's been very helpful for me to be able to seek the Lord's guidance,
Mm-hmm.
but also the physical benefits of it as well. How your mind is strengthened by working out and stuff, and then we have to set boundaries. And I'm sure when I said that, some people popped in your mind probably who are habitual line steppers, right? We have this line, this boundary, this invisible line, and there's some people that will just cross it.
Mm-hmm.
And this could be a powerful tool to stay focused. Um, we have to set limits sometimes. We have to set limits um, even for ourselves on our work hours. We have to set limits on distractions for social media. Um, if you if social media is a problem, say, hey, I'm gonna be on social media for 20 to 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that 20, 30 minutes is done, get off.
Yeah.
Email too. I used to be addicted to checking email every second, especially now we have it on our phones.
Mm-hmm.
Every sec, just scrolling email, delete this. It's such a waste of time. Such a waste of time. Um, Another thing I like is time blocking,
Mm-hmm.
or something I've struggled with. So I've been on this habitual struggle with just the concept of focusing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've read The Power of Focus, Jack Canfield. I've read Deep Work, Cam Newport, I believe. The One Thing, Gary Keller.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been so difficult for me to grasp this concept because I like to do everything all the time. And now I think time blocking to set aside specific times, which are boundaries. I have this boundary for this amount of work, and now it has to be completed in this amount of time.
Yeah. And carrying it out consistently.
Yeah. And then ultimately, I think the most important thing, of course, to stay focused and to get things accomplished for Christ, because it's not easy. Um, any second we can be off on a tandem, twiddling our thumbs when we need to focus on the purpose we're here, and it's not easy. And it's really to stay grounded in your faith.
Yeah.
This is the most important thing that we need to do to stay focused as Christian entrepreneurs is to stay grounded in our faith. And this can include spending time in prayer and Bible study daily.
Yes.
Of course, surrounding yourself around like-minded individuals, whether it is church, your local church, it is a podcast like this. There are so many more resources nowadays that we can surround ourselves with like-minded individuals that want to reach a specific goal. And that's it.
That's good.
All right. So I want to thank Ashley for coming on. She's a little under the weather. Usually she's more talkative, but she's definitely under the weather today. So we got on here and really wanted to discuss the importance of focusing
Yeah.
and how clarity can help direct us in the pathway that God has for us.
Definitely.
All right. Talk to you guys next time.